Well, welcome, everyone. Welcome. It says I'm supposed to start the first song, but I think I should at least invite you or welcome you here. Tell you we're thankful for you guys being here. If you were at the 9 o'clock service, you might have seen me trying to get out of this by dropping my guitar and making a really loud noise. Thank you. Turns out the guitar is fine, and Josh had a spare for me if this one was broken anyway, so I was going to be playing no matter what. Up here I have Autumn playing violin. She was a part of the Iditarod team. Welcome her. She came all the way from Raleigh. And then I have Lucas Ellington with me as well to sing. So so this afternoon's going to be a little bit different than normal. Music and stories all centered around missions and what God is doing through them. So I know it's awkward around tables, but Randy says that he cannot sit and sing This Is Amazing Grace. So if you guys don't mind, if you are able, or if you're able, could you mind standing and singing with me? Who breaks the power of sin and darkness, whose love is mighty, so much stronger, the King of glory, the King above all kings, who shakes the whole world with holy thunder and leaves the breathless in awe and wonder, the King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Who brings our chaos back into order? Who makes an orphan a son or daughter? The King of glory, the King of glory, who rules the nation with truth and justice, shines like the sun in all of its brilliance. The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy, worthy, worthy This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, just sing for all that you've done for me.
Okay, almost. Am I there? Okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Wow, this is a great evening, a great evening. Thank you so much, Matt, and thank you for not dropping your guitar again. Really appreciate that. Two more songs. We still got time. Oh, Jesus had a man come to him. He was a scholar, a lawyer, and lawyers all about words, and he was a scholar of the Mosaic Law, and he says, "Teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life?" And Jesus, knowing he's a lawyer, he said, "Well, what does the law say?" And the man says, "Well, to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and all your strength, and love your neighbor as yourself." And Jesus said, "Well, do that. Duh." That's King James. You haven't read it. And the scholar of the law, to justify himself, he says, "Well, who is my neighbor?" Jesus told a parable. There's a man walking from Jericho, or from Jerusalem down to Jericho, and he was overcome by robbers, and he was robbed and beaten and bloody and stripped and left in the ditch. And then a priest come by, and they're in all their priestly robes, and he walks all the way on the other side of the road, and I can't do that. And then a Levite comes by. The Levites help the priesthood. They know the law, and they know about what's unclean, and he's doing MC Hammer. Can't touch that. And then a Samaritan, despised traitor of the Jewish people, comes. And what does he do? He gets down the ditch. He gets dirty. He gets muddy. He gets bloody. He takes out wine and he cleans the wounds, and he takes out his bandages and he takes the oils and he nurses this man as best he can. He puts him on his donkey. He takes him down to the Hotel 6. They had left the light on for him. He goes in and he tells the innkeeper, he takes care of him all night. He nurses him all night, and then he tells the innkeeper next day, he says, "Look, here's money. Take care of this man. And when I return, whatever other expense you have, I'm going to take care of that." So Jesus asked the scholar of the law, and he says, "Well, who's the better neighbor? Or who is the neighbor?" And the scholar, I'm sure he wasn't happy about saying the Samaritan, because he never said the word. He just said, "The one who showed mercy." And Jesus said, "Well, do that." That is what missions is. There is a need, and God has called us to give ourselves, our heart, our soul, our mind, our strength, our lives to these people. I'm probably preaching to the choir, because everybody here probably loves missions. I'm Randy Adams. Of course, most of y'all know me. And I'm the chair of the missions committee this year. And we have got a great missions committee. If y'all would stand, everybody on the missions committee, just stand up. So if anybody has a thought, a question, something they want to share, ideas, asking how they can get involved, talk to one of these folks. Talk to me. Talk to Will. John Jowers is our elder liaison. Y'all can sit down. Appreciate it. Because we want to know. The job of the missions committee is to encourage and coordinate missions in the church. We vet our missions partner. We want to make sure that they're theologically sound, and we want to make sure that their mission is in line with the mission statement of Clayton Baptist Church, which is glorifying God by making disciples of all nations until Jesus returns. And that's what it's all about. Tonight, we're going to hear from several people while we eat about ways that you can get involved. And that's local missions. And then we're going to hear from the Iditarod team about what they've done and that fire that they have inside them. And then we're going to have some barbecue. I'm sure you didn't come for that. But I hope you get heartburn. I hope you really get heartburn. I hope your heart starts burning or rekindled for what can I do? Just like that Samaritan, how can I help? What can I do to be active and involved in missions in Clayton Baptist Church? And that is our emphasis this year, becoming involved. And we've got a lot of things. I mean, we have got so many things going on in missions. This church loves missions. And that's why we are a growing church. So I'm going to say a prayer. And then, well, let me give some instructions first. We're going to get in line and eat, I think. Okay. So Charlene asked me if maybe help the elderly. Anybody over 80? So Charlene will go first. And no. Anyway, y'all be nice. All right, don't fight over the food. All right, I'm going to pray, and then we'll have, as we get seated and start eating, we'll have some people talk. Okay, let's pray. Father God, thank you for loving us. Thank you for giving us all you've given to us. Thanks for dying for us. Father, help us be like that Samaritan. How can I help? How can you use me? Where can I fit in? Father, help us get heartburn tonight, and help us burn and keep burning for you. For we love you. Thanks for this wonderful food we're about to partake. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. food and getting settled, Barbara Cantrell is coming up to talk to us a little bit about Operation Christmas Child and tell you about what opportunities they have here. I think you want to use, probably be easier to use the blue.
Okay. Susan Buchanan asked me to speak about Operation Christmas Child tonight because she knows I'm one of her most enthusiastic packers. And when I see pictures or videos of the children opening their boxes and you see those big smiles on their faces, it just really touches my heart. My children were raised in the days of big wheels and bikes and Cabbage Patch dolls for Christmas. And they didn't just receive a lifetime of Christmas gifts in a shoebox. Packing shoeboxes for Operation Christmas Child and packing backpacks for Place of Hope are my two most favorite things to do. If you have ever wanted to be a foreign missionary, I've got a plan for you. Every shoebox you pack for Operation Christmas Child is an opportunity to reach a child somewhere in the world with the gospel. Since 1973, shoeboxes have been delivered to 170 nations and territories. The 226 goal for shoeboxes is 11.8 million. That's 600,000 more shoeboxes than last year. In 2025, Clayton Baptist Church packed 441 boxes. That included the boxes that were created online by our church members. Now, Pat Henry did the math for me, so it's one benefit of being married to an accountant. But he says Clayton Baptist Church needs to pack 23.8 more boxes this year, percentage-wise, to help Operation Christmas Child meet their increased goal. So we're praying for a realistic number for an increase this year, and we'll get back to you about that number. Now, some of you may wonder about how the distribution works. When the shoeboxes get to the children, they hear about the gospel before they receive their shoebox. And each box contains the greatest gift. That's a gospel booklet about the gift of salvation. And they receive that before they get their gift. Children take the gospel message home to read with their families and their friends. The booklets are produced in 90 languages. And I learned yesterday at a meeting that an average of 9 people read the booklet once it gets in that home. And the children are encouraged to participate in the Bible-based course. And I'm going to give you just a few pointers on packing a shoebox. I've packed 2 for examples for you. This is a boy in the 10 to 14 age range, and this is his water bottle. And in the water bottle, I have packed a toothbrush, fingernail clips, a flashlight with extra batteries, 2 Matchbox cars, and a comb, and a combination of a fork and a spoon, which is called a spork, and then there's a little toy at the top. And before I think this one is completely packed, I will put a few more things in it. But just remember that you can use articles that you pack to also pack other items in. Pat's going to take these and pass them around to the table, and you can just browse through it, and then you can pass it to another table. Then I have a shoebox for a 10 to 14-year-old girl, and I'll pass that around also. And you'll see that her drinking glass, which is a little plastic glass, has all kinds of little things packed in it. She has a sewing kit, a comb and brush, school supplies, coloring book. She has a picture of Clayton Baptist Church, which Kevin Kroon took the picture for us, and it just lets her know where this box was packed. And Pat's going to pass this one around too, so feel free to go through it. And I wanted to let you know that when you pack your shoe boxes, take the items out of the packaging, because this regular grocery bag has the packing materials for the 2 boxes that are going around, and you can see how much needs to be taken out of the box so you can put more things in. And 2, some of the countries they go to don't have good trash pickup. So remember just to take your items out of their containers. And I make shopping for my shoe boxes a year-round event, and I've got things packed here at the church and at Pat's house and my house and just about everywhere. But if you're patient and if you're careful, you can find some great bargains. This is an outfit for Barbie from Walmart. It was originally priced at $12.88. It was $1. This little After Easter canvas for painting was 15 cents. It came from Dollar General. And this little baby doll that is normally $15 was on sale for $5. I bought 7 of them, so I saved $70. So if you're just very careful and try to catch sales after the holidays, you can find some wonderful bargains. And yeah, 1 extra bedroom. That's true. Pat didn't know what he was getting into. But I thought of something on the way to church tonight that I would like for my church family to participate in. Susan Buchanan is having a very difficult time, issues with her heart, as most of you all know. And she is the chairman of the Operation Christmas Child. And I know that she would love to be up and out and doing things for this ministry, getting ready for our packing party in November. But I would like for every family that's here to pack 1 box in the next 2 weeks. That will give you a head start on your packing. And also I want you to take a picture of it and send it to Susan and say, "Susan, this one's for you." And I think that would be a wonderful encouragement to her, and we need to encourage people more now than ever. So if you all would do that, I would appreciate it very much. Thank you. Thank you.
So they can be part of the packing part, and then they can be part of yeah.
Oh, yes, Randy just reminded me of something. You do need to be buying your items and getting ready to pack your own boxes, but we will have a packing party here again, like we did last year in the back. So we will need you to make donations to that, as well as donate your time. And then there are other opportunities to help with getting the boxes ready to go down to Clarksville, and then they're shipped on down to the Atlanta area. But there will be opportunities for you to get involved, and we'll be telling you about those later. But be sure when you go in the stores, you just check their clearance aisles and just start buying your items for your boxes. Thank you, Randy.
That's great. Thank you. A while back, I used to live in Asheville, North Carolina. I was part of the Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and my little brother, his father was in prison. Similar ministry to this. He gets these presents, and he goes, "Mr. Randy, these people gave me presents, and they don't even know us." Thought that was so, but it makes such an impact on these children. If we can get kids interested in Jesus Christ, in the church, oh man, that's where you want to start. Dave McGraw is, there he is. He's going to talk to you a little bit about the hymn ministry.
Good afternoon. I would rather be building a ramp than standing up here right now. There's a few things that we do. We build ramps. We have a firewood ministry. We go out and do cleanup, home repair, and when we have free time, we work on the Derrick Street house. The last 3 weeks, we've built 3 ramps. Next week, we'll be finishing the last one. A few things that we need are men and women who want to work. And I say that, men and women. We've got 3 ladies that work, and they would love to have other ladies out there. You don't have to build a ramp. You can do cleanup, yard work. But if you want to build a ramp, you can do that too. Let's see if there's anything else. The last thing is, if you're interested, get hold of me. Call me, text me. You can get my number at the church. It's usually on one of the things that has anything to do with the hymn team. But we meet on Thursdays at 8:30. We do a devotion, we pray, and then we go to work. And at lunchtime, we usually end up at Ingles. So if you have any questions, go ahead and talk to me. Thanks.
And my understanding is that you don't have to be like an accomplished, carpenter or anything, right? Yeah, I mean, because, yeah, he mentioned I'm retired, and I haven't mentioned maybe helping, so I'll probably, and I figured if Marty Bremer can do it, I can do it, so, Well, thank you so much, Dave. The next one is, oh, I had a brain fart for a second here. Oh, yeah. I like this next guy. He's got a great name. Randy Sorrow. He's going to talk about the food ministry, and I'm sorry, Randy.
So you can get this down. Y'all can hear me, I suppose you can. I want to share something with you about the Rayburn Christian Food Ministry. I have some handouts. They're on the table. There's not enough for everybody, but I would encourage you to pick that up and read it. It tells you our mission statement, gives you some information about Rayburn Christian Food Ministry, how people can sign up for the Rayburn Christian Food Ministry. If you know of people who might need food, there's instructions there on how to sign up. If you have any questions, you can call church office and they'll get the information to me. But Rayburn Christian Food Ministry has been in operation for over 20 years. It is its own 501c3 organization. It has been in various locations over the years. We are now operating, I've only been involved for the last 5 years, and we now operate out of the Northeast Georgia Food Bank. We come in, we pack, we buy groceries from them, and then we deliver them. I'm not positive, but I think we are the only food ministry in Rayburn County that delivers groceries. There are a number of them churches and places that you can go pick up groceries. You can go to the food bank anytime, any day and get groceries. But I think we are the only one who delivers groceries. And you can see there, we do this on the third Monday of every month. Got a couple of questions for you that I wanted to ask you. How many of you have a driver's license? Raise your hands if you got a driver's license. Okay, I see people who are not raising their hands, okay? You are lying. If you have a driver's license, raise your hand. How many of you know how to drive? Okay, some of you may be driving without a license, I don't know. How many of you have a GPS or an app on your phone that can get you to find places that you need to go? Okay, all right. Everyone who raised their hand is qualified to serve in the Rayburn Christian Food Ministry, okay? You can serve. I've shared with you on the handout, we actually have 3 times that we kind of get together. We have a setup where we go in the food bank and set the food up that we have purchased, that we pack in the boxes. We have another time when we go and we pack the boxes, and then we also, on the third Monday of every month, we deliver the boxes to people out in the community. I always need help. I'll be honest with you. Every month, I have about 32 different people who deliver, but invariably every month somebody is sick, on vacation, has injured themselves. Most of my people are retired. Some of them go to Florida for 2 or 3 months a year. So almost every month, I need help. I need substitutes. I need people who will commit to doing it every month, if you would do that. I have some people I haven't replaced. The one thing I will say about my deliverers, they are always very helpful and very willing to step up and help deliver if somebody doesn't show up. And I really appreciate that. Last month, I'll just share with you, last month, we built 122 boxes of food. We delivered 118 to different families that served over almost 300 different people in those families. And it turns out Food Bank likes to talk about weight. When we buy groceries, I buy a can of this or a can of that. Well, they talk about in terms of weight. And so last month, we delivered over 3,100 pounds of food to different people. I don't know if that's a lot or not. I know that when you're carrying one of those boxes, some of my deliverers will tell you, sometimes they get kind of heavy. I think this last box had maybe, I want to say it had 16 cans in it of one kind or another, the regular cans. So it got kind of heavy. Some of the stuff that we have, last month we had apples, we had grapefruit, we had fish sticks, we had canned corn, green beans, applesauce, spaghetti sauce, diced tomatoes, fruit cocktail, pears, we had soup, we had spaghetti. Those are some of the things that we put in our boxes every month, always depending on whatever the food bank has available for us to buy. We purchase our food from the food bank. We are donation driven. We don't have any fundraisings, anything like that. Everything is by donations. There are a number of churches that donate every month. There are some individuals that donate every month. I know Clayton Baptist Church every November, they give us the missions committee gives us a good sized check, and we purchase turkeys for everybody right around Thanksgiving. So that's how we're able to fund, that's how we're able to purchase the food. Every now and then, the food bank will have something free. I mean, it doesn't cost us anything. Grapefruits last month, for some reason, didn't cost anything. So we were able to give everybody 2 or 3 grapefruits. So that's a good thing. Just want to share a couple other things with you. One other question. How many of you believe in the Bible? Okay, got more people believing in the Bible than drive. Okay, that's probably pretty good. Let me read a passage of Scripture to you. For those that don't know, I'm a retired minister. We always go to the Scripture, always the Bible. And let me just read you a passage. And this is found and Jesus was telling a parable about the sheep and the goats. And this is going to sound familiar to you because I know you know this passage. You may not know that it occurs in a parable where Jesus is talking about dividing the sheep from the goats when he comes his second coming. But he says this. I'm going to start at verse 34 in Matthew 25. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or without clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and visit you?" And the king will answer them, "I assure you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me." If we take the Scripture seriously, we have a command there. We have a purpose. Jesus has said we need to serve him. And one of the ways we do this is through Raven Christian Food Ministry. And I would encourage you, back here in the corner, there is a poster up there, and I have a sign-up sheet down there next to it. And if you're willing to sub, if you're willing to participate every month, please sign up. Because, like I said, every month is kind of a shuffle because somebody is sick, somebody is injured, somebody's on vacation. So I appreciate you thinking about it, praying about it. Sign up. If you can't sign up tonight, call the church office and they'll give you my number, and you can call me and we'll talk about it, okay? I appreciate the time tonight.
Y'all continue to eat. Isn't the food awesome? I mean, that is amazing. Thank you, Kyle. Well, I hope you're getting a little bit of heartburn, not because of the food, but because you're finding God's working in you, finding where you can fit in this church. We're going to have a little music here in a little bit. Y'all just continue to eat a little bit of dessert if you hadn't got to that, and then we're going to have the Iditarod team come and share with them their experience in Alaska. So, thank you.
Did you guys know before? Probably not. But then did you go back and watch like the whole episodes? He was on Food Network's barbecue.
He's like kind of a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, it's neat because you know the ending now, but
Yeah, he's kind of a big deal.
excellent consumer of the food. Yeah, maybe. Is that what we need to do? Yeah, I don't think we should say that. And on 'em. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I don't. It's usually so like we have. This is what we're doing. We're doing this on.
You need Autumn to just kind of like start slow roll with us.
Like hit a sourdough. All eyes are on us.
That's right.
Which is the goal.
That's right.
Hey, brother.
I didn't do that. That was.
Just saying. I don't. I've been freaking out. Yeah.
There used to be some in here. But they're not there right now. I see.
That would be.
Are they? Can you wear them?
Their hats. What do you mean?
Are they special though?
I mean, one's hot.
Is it good enough? We should go. Are you ready? What do you think? So I guess as we're kind of coming back to our seats, you know, listening to the stories that we've been hearing, kind of reminds us that you know, following Jesus looks differently for everybody, and you know, sometimes it might be across the world. Sometimes it might be right here in Rabun County. So this next song, if you guys would like to stand, you can. If not, you can stay seated. That's fine too. Freddie's eating, so I don't want Freddie to sing because he might be like spraying food in people's direction. But this song's just kind of reminds us of the simple response of wherever he leads, we follow. Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. When you move, I'll move. I will follow. All your ways are good, all your ways are sure. I will trust in you alone, higher than my sight, high above my life. I will trust in you alone. Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. When you move, I'll move. I will follow you. Who you love, I'll love. How you serve, I'll serve. If it's life I lose, I will follow you. Yeah, I will follow you. Yeah. Light unto the world, light into my life. I will live for you alone. You're the one I seek, knowing I will find. All I need is you alone, is you alone. Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. When you move, I'll move. I will follow you. Who you love, I'll love. Who you serve, I'll serve. In this life I lose, I will follow you. Yeah, I will follow you. Yeah. In you there's life everlasting. In you there's freedom for my soul. In you there's joy, unending joy. And I will follow. If you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. When you move, I'll move. I will follow you. Who you love, I'll love. How you serve, I'll serve. In this life I lose, I will follow you. Yeah, I will follow you. Yeah, I will follow you. Yeah, I will follow you. Yeah.
Okay, Josh, the Iditarod team, if y'all want to come up. Oh, there you are, right behind me.
Hello, everybody. I don't even know how to make this work. What? All right, so most of you guys, I think I know a lot of you. Most of you know me. My name's Josh Messer. I had the blessing of getting to lead this team to Alaska this year to work on the Iditarod, and I've done this before, but we had a lot of different stuff this year that we've never dealt with. So part of that was we went with a new mission partner. Instead of working the front side of the Iditarod, we worked the back side of it. And so I'm going to enter. Who stole my seat? I'm going to start over here. Elijah Briner, Kyle Briner, Pat Hopton, Eileen Vasosky. And this is the first year that I know of, and y'all can correct me on this, but we've never had people from another church go with us. So that was really, really cool for us. This is Autumn Roush, who's playing violin tonight. Sarah Sullards and her younger sister Rachel. They are from Habersham, she's from Raleigh, and they were a blessing on the trip. So I'm going to let Elijah go first, and I'm going to wrap everybody up. So y'all welcome him up.
I'm Elijah. Of course, you guys know us from the Blue Hound with our dad and everything. It was my second year going to Alaska. I went with Josh and the other team last year. Like I said, we did the start, and it was really inspiring to see the end of the race and how God works across the beginning and the end. Nome was a real surprise, to me at least. It was a really big difference from Fairbanks, because Fairbanks has a very, very large population, because we had to start at a different location last year as well. And Nome had what was the population? It was about 3,000 people in Nome, with about 95% of the population being indigenous Alaskans. And so there's definitely a need in the community. And the church that we were with and got to stay in most of the time was a very pivotal point in the community. And you could definitely tell we are making impacts within the community. It was a great experience.
Hello, I'm Rachel Sellers. One of the things I think I didn't expect from this trip was just the way that people poured into me. I know we're there to serve, but it was really cool to see the people on the mission team pouring into me and the way that impacted just my whole experience in general. The people there, honestly, were so welcoming. We helped with the basketball tournaments at some point, more in the beginning of the trip. And in the end of that, there was the whole celebration, and a lot of the natives came out into the court and started doing dances and playing music. The girls were doing one style, and the boys were doing another. And then they invited, like, everyone from the sides to go up. So I went up and danced, and it was super cool that they just welcomed everyone to do that together, and we all got to experience that. Was I good? Absolutely not, but that's okay. It was super cool. It was cool seeing their great national forest that consisted of approximately 30 Christmas trees. That was really great. I think whether people are pouring into you or just being there serving alongside others, missions really does change you. And it changes your heart, and enter this new space with these new people, and the whole experience is just, it really changes your heart. And I'm super glad that I was able to go on this trip. Hope to go back next year.
I don't know if I should come down or bring this up. I'll bring it up a little bit. So this is my first time going to Alaska. I heard from Elijah and others some reports from last year's at the beginning of the Iditarod. And this was a mission that I don't think any of us really knew what to expect. We didn't really know what our tasks were going to be. We didn't know how to pack because we didn't know if we were going to be outside or inside. We knew some vague jobs that we were going to do. One was to run concessions for the basketball tournament that they host throughout the year. And that's pretty much the only thing that we were told we were going to do for sure. So I asked Josh, I'm like, what are we supposed to do? I just need to have a game plan and understand what to expect. And he said, just go with an open mind and being willing to serve however you can. And so that's exactly what we did. I think all of us except for Eileen had troubles getting to Alaska. There was a storm in Atlanta which delayed flights for days going to Alaska. And so it was a miracle that we all got there just in time. Elijah and I and Josh had planned on going a few days early so we could enjoy. It's my first time in Alaska. I wanted to, look and see what's going on. So we tried to get there a few days early. That didn't work out, but thankfully we did that because we got there just in time. I was dealing with sickness right beforehand, and of course you're like, is this, the enemy trying to get me to not go on this trip? And I got to suck it up. If Paul can do it, and suffer through ministry, I'll do it. And I don't know if, when I got there, now I'm thinking, I'm going to bring this rare disease to all these indigenous people, wipe these people out. So there's fear on both ends. But I don't think I told anybody that. But I was like, I'm handling their food, and I'm sitting here like, But immediately when we touched down on the ground, we went to the church, unpacked our stuff, or just kind of sat there, and he says, all right, we're going to hit the ground running. We got to go do concessions. There's been a team that's been serving these people all day long. They haven't had a break, so we were there to relieve them. And again, I'm coming there with an open mind and an open heart, and just like wherever you want me to serve, I'll be able to do that and do it gladly. So they're handing out all the jobs to the people, and they look at Elijah and I, and they're like, all right, you guys are going to be the cooks. I'm like, okay, I could do that. And so we go to the kitchen, and this lady is like, all right, so I want to teach you guys how to cook these curly fries. And so she's pulling them out of the freezer, and she's putting them in the fry basket. She's like, well, the other boys here, they've cooked these things every year, so they know what they're looking for. You guys might need to use a timer. I'm like, yes, ma'am, I'll use a timer. And so I'm using the timer, and I'm cooking the fries the way she wants me to. And I guess a couple days later, she found out that I'm actually a cook, and she's so embarrassed. I can't believe you let me know how to teach you how to make curly fries. I'm like, you taught me great. But there was is a different view of a mission trip than I've been on before. I've been on mission trips where I knew what to expect and what we were going for, but just looking for, for Christ in the ministry. I think that's what really we're going. This is our first time partnering with this mission, so we wanted to see what was, what they were all about, if Christ was really in the center of what they were doing, if it was something that, as a church, that we would like to partner with in the future. And so that's my whole, purpose there for myself, as my own mission was to let me just scope things out, just kind of get a little discernment and see what the Lord's doing here. And it was different. I was talking with Pat, and I'm sure he'll say this earlier. A lot of times you think of mission trips, you're going to go and you're going to go have a lot of opportunities for one-on-one, being able to share your testimony or witness with people. And there was some opportunity for that, but I think the core of what we were doing as a group was to help break down walls for that mission there, in order for them to have that connections that over the years so many people have put up walls for, people that aren't natives in the area, but also for people. Is that Josh up there? Yeah, he was a riot the whole time. But it was great to be able to see what the Lord's doing there, and I'm sure you'll hear from Josh and everyone how big of a need there really was. So there's a lot of walls up. There's a lot of hurt between the people of Nome and the villages around there, and people coming in that are, haven't done a good job of showing who Christ really is. And so we're trying to break those walls down and show them what Christ really is like. And so it was good to see that. But what else am I talking about? Oh, yeah, we've got this, which I want to talk about these two, though. So this was great. The ladies at the WMU, is that what it is? Yep, they wrote these cards, so every day you can go through these. And what was that? I'm sorry. Oh, Charlene, you want to finish? But it was good to be able to read through these. There wasn't a lot of lesson time and prayer and times for devotions and stuff in the morning. There was stuff written on the wall, and it was kind of like, do this at your own pace. We got too much work to do to sit here and talk amongst each other. Let's get out in the field and do work. So it was good to be able to read through these and get a little bit of home, knowing that people are praying for you back there and doing that. But I'm much like where we were in Alaska. My hair is above. I'm taller than my hairline. We were above the tree line up there, and so I quickly found out I needed something that's a little more. This thing was like an oven. It was great. Next year, I'm going to try to get the mittens to go with it. But yeah, I feel like Grizzly Adams up here or something. But they said it looks just like you. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Here's my $300, and my head will be warm the rest of it. But no, it was great to be able to see that and kind of see what the mission was like. And I think you'll hear some great stories from the rest of these people as well. So thank you.
Well, I'm Pat, and this was my first missions trip that I've been on. I've helped with local and things like chainsaw trip to Augusta after Hurricane Helene, but this is my first getting on an airplane and going somewhere for a mission trip. And I had some preconceived ideas of what it was going to be. Like Kyle said, I thought we were going to be standing on a street corner, witnessing and talking and giving testimonies. There wasn't a whole lot of that on this trip. Instead, what we did was we went to a church that was there, AK Missions that was there, and helped them with they had a whole list of work to do for the Iditarod. They had the basketball tournament that you heard about earlier, or the awards banquet after the basketball. They had a whole lot of work to do, and we helped them do that to free them up to do testimonies and witnessing and all that. And so, and not only that, but we saved them money that they could now use that money for their missions up there. So that was, I had, realizing that it's a good thing. It's good. Missions wasn't me doing it. I was helping them so they could do it, and they were much more set up to do it. Kyle had his hat. Well, I got mine. We were Iditarod volunteers, official volunteers, and we helped set up the awards banquet. And I got to learn all about the Iditarod. I'm a Georgia boy. What do I know about dog sleds and all that? But we learned a lot. The Iditarod, let me just tell you, you may already know this, the Iditarod's a big deal in Alaska. It is their Super Bowl, Olympics, World Series, everything together. And they take it very seriously, and the awards banquet was just eye-opening. It was just people from all over, and it was great. And just seeing that was fulfilling to me. The other thing, I kind of thought that I'm going to near the Arctic Circle in Alaska. And I've been southeast Alaska around Juneau through my work and all, but I've never been that far. And it's almost to me like I'm going to a foreign country. But no, they're Americans. They did Pledge of Allegiance they were very patriotic. A lot of military presence there. I bought Girl Scout cookies from Girl Scouts, so you can't beat that. So it was neat to see that culture. And let me just tell you, the people there were so nice. Just the one thing that they told us this to begin with, and it was true. They said, now let me tell you guys, that of all the people, they call them the natives, of all the natives that you meet, respect the elders. The elders are held in highest esteem of everybody. If there's a line, they go first. If there's something, they are first and everything. At the concession stand, they got free. They had no charge for the elders. I just thought that was great. I just thought that was really, really great. And one more last thing I'll say. I not only did I get a lot of reward and fulfillment out of seeing the native Alaskans and the people there, but also from being around this team here. These are great people. I mean, these are, we laughed, we talked, we had fun. We also worked really hard. And I'll tell one quick story. Sarah talked about at the basketball game, they had a little native music going on. The guy was doing a sealskin drum, and they're doing their native dance. And it was beautiful. It's great. And then they said, "Come on down. Anybody wants to come down and join us?" Well, everybody. Well, they couldn't help it. They were going to go down. So even Eileen, and I'm saying, oh gosh, she was, and she was down there. She was doing her dance, and come back. She said, well, turns out I was doing the guys' dance, not the girls' dance. It was great. Anyway, thank you, Clayton Baptist Church, for supporting this missions group. I had a great time. Thank you.
Hi, church family. My name is Eileen Mendez-Wasowski, for those of you who do not know me, and this trip was amazing, and it's because of all these guys. I actually walked away from this mission trip. They gave me more, everyone behind me, than I could have ever imagined. But I wanted to, and they did a great job summarizing what we did, and I also had different expectations of the trip. Well, first of all, I was blessed to be able to spend some days in Anchorage before I met the team in Nome. And Anchorage was unbelievable. It was unbelievable from the standpoint that I met so many Christians, and I expected Anchorage being such a big city that wasn't going to be the case, and it was. And I think it was God's way of preparing me that Nome was going to be a little bit more difficult. And I also had the thought that we were going to be witnessing, and that was not what God intended. And I guess I went with the attitude, what I wanted to do, and it wasn't God's plan. It was Eileen's plan. But in Anchorage, it was amazing. I even met a wonderful Christian couple, and she belonged to a Christian hiking group. And those are my two favorite things, to talk about Jesus and to hike. So I was like in seventh heaven. Well, the last day of my Anchorage stay, I was at a restaurant, and there was a guy next to me, and he noticed my cross. So he started to tell me his testimony, and I started to tell him mine, and about what churches we went to. And then all of a sudden, I see he pulls out this graph, and I'm thinking, I wonder what this is. And he says to me, I want you to understand that end times has already happened. And I was like, I was speechless. And for Eileen, that's a big deal. I didn't know what to say. And while he's talking and giving his arguments of why end times had already happened, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I missed the rapture. I was really like, and I could hear Joey, and I believe Joey said that today, I missed being able to fly up. And I was like, and then finally, it was a perfect transition into Nome, because our conversation kind of ended in a let's just agree to disagree. So it was very cordial, but Anchorage, I can't say enough about it. Well, Nome, I thought the challenge in Nome was going to be the weather, but it really wasn't. It was what I had expected the missionary trip to be and what God wanted the missionary trip to be. Well, what was most interesting to me, first of all, I want to talk about the ladies. We were sharing a room about how many? 15? About 15. And I loved it. It was like being a kid again and being in a sleepover. And we worked hard every day. And one of my challenges was for taking a shower, because 50 of us about with the men, we had one shower to share. And the rules were that you had to sign up. And we had 5 minutes, or if we were lucky, we'd get 10 minutes. Well, one day we were working really hard, and I could not wait to take a shower. Well, Eileen forgot to put her name on the list. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't take a shower? And I just decided, you know what? You're gonna take your poor attitude and you're gonna go to bed early. So I went to bed early, and I read one of the cards you all sent, and that meant a lot to me. And as I'm laying in bed, I'm looking at my phone, and I have the Bible app on my phone, and I know God was saying, okay, get to the Word, Eileen, you need the Word. Well, at that moment, I was doing a chronological Bible, and I was on the book of Numbers, and I was thinking, Numbers? How am I going to find anything in Numbers that's going to help me with the feeling I'm feeling? Because I wasn't getting to do what I really wanted to do, witness. We were really working harder. Well, lo and behold, I'm reading Numbers, and there it was. Humility. I had to learn humility. I had to also learn to be a servant, not doing what I wanted to do, but what the Lord was telling me to do. And then I thought to myself, the next day, I was like I was a new person. The light bulb went off, and I was a newbie. This was my first mission trip. I had done one previously, and as Kyle had said, it was a different experience, and it was amazing. Well, the last day of the trip, I was trying to get on the earlier flight to go home, and the flight was full. There was a wait list. It didn't look good. Well, it was God's plan for me to get on that airplane, because I did. And that was where most of the team was on the early flight, and I was on the later flight. Well, I was so excited. I'm running down the aisle of the airplane, getting in my seat. I'm thinking about the hotel room I was going to spend in a nice, comfortable bed. I could take as long of a shower as I wanted. And I sit down in my seat, and all of a sudden, I kind of turn my head, and I feel these eyes looking at me. And I'm like, yes? And she's like, you're in my seat. And I'm like, oh, right. I know, I'm always in my seat. I look up, nope, I was in the wrong seat. And I failed to tell her, because I was so embarrassed, that in the 80s, I was a flight attendant for United Airlines. So anyway, she ends up sitting down, and at that moment, I got this feeling like God says, okay, you wanted to witness, this is your time to witness. And I'm like, I really don't want to witness, because I could feel the tension. And you know that feeling when you're on an airplane and you don't know whether to talk or not? So I'm like, okay. finally, we were taking off, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna start talking to her. And I did. Lo and behold, you're not gonna believe. One of the things I wanted to do really bad, and we did not get that opportunity, was to visit with the women in the shelter, because the money that they earned in the concession stand went to this woman's shelter. And she ended up being the director of the women's shelter. And I was like, wow. And we, you know, it was hard initially, but by the time we were taking off for the entire flight, we had a wonderful conversation. And I was able to share with her my ideas, and she was sharing her thoughts. And one of the things that Kyle mentioned, and you said it so well, is that our role was to bring down the walls. And that's what our conversation was about, because I had my own experiences with maybe having two different cultures together and having to accept the other culture. It was excellent. And she had just become the new pastor for one of the local churches in Nome. And here I was basically a woman that kind of believed that I don't know if a woman should be a pastor just based on the scripture. And here was a woman that was a new pastor for a big church in Nome. And we were like best friends by the end of the flight. She wanted to drive me to my hotel. She did. She waited for me to get my luggage. We exchanged emails, and we're emailing to this day. So that was God's plan. When I let go and I just let things happen, that's what he wanted. And it was just like the most amazing end to an amazing trip. Thank you very much.
Hey, my name's Autumn, and this was actually my first mission trip that I've ever been on, which was kind of extreme for first mission trip to go straight to Alaska. But it was great. It was a wonderful experience. It was absolutely beautiful out there. I'm like super into photography, so I brought my camera and got to kind of take some fun pictures in between all the hard work that we did. It was such an honor and a privilege to work with this team and the other teams that they got together with Alaska Missions and the people who were just like rooted there already, that like lived there as natives. And I was just again and again really impressed with the resilience and the grit of everyone involved. It was really inspiring. Like some of the other team members mentioned, a lot of us had a hard time getting there actually, like some difficulty with travels because there was some bad weather. So I traveled up with Rachel and Sarah because we both, or all three of us, came from like the Fort Bragg / Raleigh area in North Carolina. And we're actually roommates now, so like we survived the Alaska trip and decided we weren't sick of each other enough to not do that. So yeah, it's great. And so we flew up, and then we got delayed with some of the bad weather on our trip, or on the leg from Minneapolis to Seattle, and then we were stuck there for 2 days. And like we missed our flight to Anchorage by like probably about 20-30 minutes, which was rough. And we got to deal with Delta customer service. Don't fly Delta. They were not great. But yeah, we were like going on 24 hours without sleep that day. And then we kind of just stayed there, and I won't get too into it because I want to talk about the actual mission trip, but we kind of had our own little side quest where we went to explore Mount Rainier and just had a fun time. And then that Thursday, we finally got on a plane and got to Anchorage, and then met up with everybody else and went to Nome. And I think one thing that really stuck out to me about the trip is that they genuinely needed us to help. Like this wasn't just some sort of, like obviously it wasn't just like a vacation or like field trip or anything. Like we were there to work because we got there, and obviously we're all tired because, you know, traveling was rough. And, you know, we're driving to the church around like 6 or 7, like exhausted. And I'm thinking like, I'm so excited to eat dinner and meet everybody and go to sleep, and then we'll have our orientation and get started in the morning. And they break the news to us on the ride in the van. Yeah, you're going to work. Like we're gonna stop by the church real quick. You'll drop off your stuff, and you're gonna start your shift because it starts at 8:30, I guess. And because we were part of a 2-week mission trip, and so we were the second week, and we were relieving people who had been there working hard for the week before. And so as tired as we were, they were probably 10 times more tired than us, and there was work to be done, and so we were needed. And so that was kind of a cool experience to step in and feel like, hey, we were playing a needed role. But like some of the other team members mentioned, we helped with basketball concessions, and all of the money from that went directly to a women's shelter that's supporting people getting out of really horrible abusive situations. It pays for plane tickets to get them out of those situations. So it's not just fluff and unnecessary stuff, it's needed stuff. And I think they raised around 19,000. Josh, is that right? 15,000? Yeah. So 15,000 over the 2 weeks went directly to helping these people, which was really cool to play a part in that. We did a lot of the work in this gym that's was probably about twice the size of this gym, but that is their one event venue. And so they had this basketball game that was going on the week prior that we helped with, and then there was the Iditarod Awards Banquet, which was in that same venue, and so we had about a day to tear down stuff from the basketball game, set up Iditarod Banquet, which involved taking down 600 plus chairs from a loft that they had with no ladder, no lift. We had to manually pass down each chair, clean it, set it up, and then help with catering for the award banquet, and then put the chairs back all in one day. So there was just thing after thing after thing. But yeah, they made good use of us. And yeah, and so it was fun. We just kind of worked nonstop. We had some fun times to get away. One of the pastors from Texas was a photographer and was tracking the Northern Lights. So there was one night when we went out late and we saw the Northern Lights, and so there's some pictures of that. It was fun. We also helped with actual Iditarod volunteer stuff, because there was the church sign-up sheet of stuff that they were involved with helping, and then there was the official Iditarod volunteer sheets, and so we went down to the headquarters for there, and we were able to sign up for that stuff to kind of fill in between our church shifts. And so the three of us helped with dog lot security one of the nights. We took the 6 to 10 p.m. shift, and so that was super fun. We got to kind of sit and watch the dogs and chat with the other ladies who were on shift. We also kind of went off script a couple times and did an early morning airport run where we just went to the dog lot and helped mushers load up their dogs into the crates and all their supplies, and then drove them to the airport. And so that was a very natural way to get to know people and kind of share and witness what we're doing here as part of the mission group. But yeah, it was great. I would 100% go again.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm also a part of the North Carolina group, so I'm very grateful that Josh allowed me to come with Clayton Baptist. We are very happy to come with a group this year. This is actually my 9th year in Alaska, working with the Iditarod, and in the past, I've done some summer ministry as well. And I am very passionate about Alaska. I'm very passionate about the people there. I've spent a lot of time learning about the native cultures and the native villages, and I would encourage that if you ever had time, there's a lot of amazing, fascinating history behind there. But kind of like a lot of the team members have insinuated, there has been a lot of missionaries that have come in the past that maybe have not represented Christ well. And so a lot of the ideas of I'm going to go and I'm going to witness and I'm just going to go talk to the people on the street, sometimes they don't want to hear that. And I think a great way to look at this trip is kind of how Jesus did his ministry, which is he served, and he served the least of these. He served whoever he was around. He treated them kindly. He represented. He embodied what we want to embody, which is the embodiment of Christ, and that is what opens doors for those conversations. And I actually think that it's a wonderful way to do ministry, is to find a need in a community. So like we've said, we've helped with the banquet, we helped with the basketball tournament. So many amazing events that bring in a huge audience of people that we wouldn't normally be able to interact with. And our first step is to serve, because serving with good attitudes when we're tired, serving with joy, serving
with our peers has allowed us to open so many doors to conversations. And that is where the witnessing comes in. So it's really hard in Alaska, especially. That's why they don't have it set up where you just kind of go and just talk to people on the street to witness. They give you these opportunities to showcase Christ. And that has helped heal a lot of relationships. I know we've kind of talked about it, but the lady who started AK Missions, when she was initially there, they didn't want her in their spaces. They have been hurt by Christians. They didn't want her a part of their basketball tournament, which actually brings in probably the most amount of people that's going to be there that year in Nome from all of these remote villages that you can only dog sled or fly to. And so it was such a unique opportunity. The way she built trust with them is to serve. And so serving is an amazing ministry, and we saw so many amazing relationships that have been formed over the years with other missionaries. So I'm excited to go back. I, like Josh and some of the other team members, have been on the front end of Iditarod. So I'm excited to go back again to this end portion and continue those relationships. And also, like they said, I just want to reiterate that mission trips help to set your heart posture on being intentional with people. I think that we get into like mission mind when we go on a mission trip, but what I appreciate about that is that heart posture needs to be taken to wherever we are. The type of ministry that we're doing there is the type of ministry we can do here, which is to serve, embody Christ, and start a conversation. And so I think it's a great way to set our minds on how to be constant living missionaries in our everyday life, and this is just a great opportunity to do that. But I am also poured into every time I go. I've met so many amazing people. So many people have poured into me. There are lots of things that end up happening on mission trips, unfortunately, to challenge us, and I think that's on purpose. But as Scripture tells us, iron sharpens iron, and it's good for us to suffer with other believers. And Autumn ended up having car problems. Her car broke down while we were in Alaska, and she was going to maybe have to get a new car. And so we started praying about that, and then all of the mission team members came and prayed over us and just really gave us a peace of mind. And then we went home, and then my car broke down. So I was, but it was okay because I had that peace. And there was no anxiety because my fellow believers had surrounded me and prepared me. And so there's just so many amazing things. I am grateful that we were able to serve. I'm grateful for the people around me, and I'm also excited to go back. So thank y'all.
All right, there's usually a reason that I go last is because I want to hear what everybody else has to say. So, number one, I don't say the exact same thing, but also I want y'all to hear it's encouragement for me. This is the reason I like going. This is the reason I love missions. We have a job to do, and I think you heard a lot of different times through everybody, it was serve, 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 and heart, 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 heart. And that's what it is. It's getting our hearts right. Getting the preconceived notions. If y'all remember Matt last year, he actually talked about the exact same thing that I think Kyle and Eileen talked about. We are very, very easily, in our own minds, we get a preconceived notion of what we expect a mission trip to look like, what the work is going to be like. And the one thing that continues to happen, and I'm grateful for it, is just like Sarah said, we get in bad places. We have flights that get delayed for 3 days. We get stuck in a city for 3 days. We have sicknesses. We have all these things. And they happen, but it throws us back to the mercy of God and calling on Him. And that's what I love every time. And these guys make my little role of being a quote-unquote leader very easy. They're godly people. They look to serve, strong backs, and just being flexible. Y'all have heard it from Joey 1,500 times up here. Ever since COVID, blessed are the flexible, and that's all we can do. Be able and just be willing to do whatever. And, so what I wanted to talk about kind of is why we went. Why Nome, Alaska? And for the ones like with Elijah and with Sarah who have done the start side of Iditarod like we have before, we've sent teams, and anybody up here knows Sarah. Anybody that has been to Iditarod through Clayton Baptist has worked alongside her, And she was the reason whenever Will said, let's do this, she was the first call I made, because she has played a crucial role with Iditarod Commission and with Graceworks doing things, so I knew what kind of heart she had for this place. And it was an easy call. Called her and it worked, but this side of it looked completely different. On one side, we're working outside in the weather, and it's brutal. It's 2 of the hardest days of work you will do. Pat, I know you remember, Sam's been there, Kathy, Shannon, Matt, several guys. It's hard work. This was not necessarily the case. We worked mostly inside. The most weather we saw was whenever we were just moving back and forth. But while we're there sadly, it's at the hands of there's such a need for Christians up there, because the church, under the umbrella of the church, has done a ton of damage. And it's generational sin and it's generational damage. There's actually a special, if you guys want to, I've not watched it, but I had to Google it a while ago because I was told about it. There was a special made about this particular place we went. PBS aired it, and it's called The Silence. The Silence. And so basically the plot of it is there were some Catholic priests down in the lower 48 doing some things around younger kids that did not need to be done. But instead of church discipline taking place and doing what it should have done and removing these pastors and doing whatever they needed to be, they shipped them to Alaska, out of sight, out of mind. Flying under the umbrella of the church, these natives thought that they could do no wrong. And so they put these ministers into these preschools with these young kids like these we've seen running around, and just watch the show. It is horrific to think what they did. And even when this was happening to these kids and they would go back to their parents and tell them, the parents believed the church and sent them back over and over. And now you've got people that are my age, Joey's age, that generation of people who have now broken relationships with the parents because they didn't believe what they were telling them when this was going on. Suicide is rampant. We spoke with one family that their grandmother had lost 4 grandchildren in the course of a year. Suicide. And a lot of that suicide is because these people don't understand who their identity is. They see themselves as sexually abused. Why would a loving God let me be in a situation like this? They have such a misconception, not necessarily a wrong misconception because they've never been taught otherwise. But these are the things that we have to fight, and the reason that there's a reason for this mission in Alaska. Suicide and sexual, not assault, what's the word I'm looking for? Thank you. Sexual abuse is horrible. It's absolutely horrible, and a lot of it happens inside families, and gender doesn't matter, y'all. Gender does not matter, and when you speak out against families for doing this, you are ostracized. You become the bad person for speaking out against this. So Brenda, who is, like Sarah said, Brenda is over the AK mission. She has broken down walls being a female. She's been able to go places that probably a white guy that's a Christian could not do. And so God's used her in a mighty way, and I think Kyle said it or somebody did. Our service on this mission trip was to come alongside them, take some of the weight off of them and let them fulfill their calling there. And it's a heck of a mission, y'all. It really, really is. But thank y'all. WMU, I've got some of y'all. Miss Brooks, would you raise your hand, please, ma'am? Is Betsy Smith here? I was given a list by Luann. All right, how about Ed's not here. Ed Madeline Crawford? Brenda Shirley? All right, perfect. And the other that is not here is Luann Holton, Miss Luann. And I don't know if, is Ann Phillips still serving with y'all? Ann Phillips? No? Okay. So these are the ladies that gave us these mission trip journals that we get to journal in. And every one of them also picked a team member to write these cards that Kyle talked about. Y'all are a blessing. Thank y'all so much. You don't realize how many times reading these cards and the scripture you guys quote is exactly what we need. And we are so grateful for y'all. And y'all need to jump on board if they need help. I mean, thank y'all, church, for letting us go do this. Just thank y'all. I think, is that it? I think that's about it, y'all. I don't know, what is the order, Will? Do we have a song, or are we going straight into? Okay. So one of the things, I think it just flew up there just for a second, Sam, one of the reasons we're doing this whole thing is to try to get us motivated to do more missions. We want, just like Randy was talking about heartburn, we want our church and our community to be on fire to go serve with different missions. Now, this same group we're talking about that we just did Iditarod with, they're hosting 3 more mission trips this summer, and we're trying to gauge the interest in this. Now, one of them is a sports camp. It'd be great for our youth, but I've already spoken to Trent. The timing is not going to work because it kicks off next month, and it just is not going to work this year, especially with Trent getting really settled into his position and the youth and things. It's just not going to work out, but it's going to be an opportunity later on. It is geared through using sports as a way to minister to these kids, break down these same walls we're talking about. The other is this salmon frenzy that's above me. And these things, guys, are not happening in Nome. They're actually not happening. They're going to be about 3 hours south of Anchorage on the Kenai Peninsula. And this salmon frenzy is a 3-week stretch, so it's 3 different trips, 3 different mission trips, 3 different back-to-back-to-back weeks. And the natives are allowed to go into the Kenai River with dip nets and scoop out salmon. And I mean, that's how they get their food, a lot of their food for the year. Our mission job on that would be to help take care of their kids that are on shore, traffic control, trash pickup, bouncy houses, engaging with these kids and helping with these parents in any way we can to as they gather food for their year. This one I think still has some availability. These things are filling up really quick. So if y'all are interested in any of this stuff, please don't hesitate at all. Let us know, reach out to the committee members that Randy picked out, any of us, and say, hey, I want to go, because we've got to act quick if we want to. This salmon frenzy happens, it's a 3-week span in July. And then the last one is what they call their man camp. It's a 1 week, the first week of August, and it is for 16-year-old and older men. And it's really a retreat. It's a retreat for leaders, pastors, just guys that are leading Sunday schools, whatever. It's to get in. You're going to be fishing. You're going to get to be in the middle of the Kenai River fishing. You're going to get to be around other godly guys that are pouring into you. You're getting to be the blessing for someone else as well. And it's just to re-energize and go back to where you're from, leading the groups you are. So those are 3 things that are coming up. If y'all have any interest, please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us about that, okay? All right, now that sharing is over, we have a few minutes to where if you guys, any of the pictures or any of the testimonies you've heard, it's kind of open for a Q&A. So if y'all have any questions whatsoever, hit us up. We'd love to talk to you about it.
So this hat came from, what was it called, Poor Boys? It was called Poor Boys. It was a fur trader. They just take furs and they would only sell them to the natives in the area there. Then they started making hats and everything, and they have a huge, it's not huge, it's a small shop, but they sell a lot of stuff out of it. So they made this in 1 day for me, and like I said, it's like an oven. The thing, I can be outside in overalls and a short sleeve t-shirt. As long as this thing's on, I'm all right. Negative 20 degrees. I don't know if we talked about it. So it was negative 20 with a negative 40 wind chill our first day there. It was cold.
It was cold.
It only took about 15 minutes for me to get the snot sickles up here. And it wasn't pretty.
Eyelashes froze.
Yeah.
We were also able to experience dog sledding.
Yep.
Why don't you share that story about the dog sledding? I thought that was really cool.
So we worked hard. We really did. It was. Oh, okay. We worked hard. We started early in the morning, and we went all the way till late in the evening, and we did a lot of hard work. But they were gracious enough to block out little times we could have free time. We could walk around town or do things. Well, one of the things they had set up for us to do was to ride on a dog sled. Oh, well, of course, me and I did everybody do it? You did it? Did y'all do it? Okay. I mean, I was first in line. That's what I was going to do. And so they bust us out to outskirts of Nome, and there was a dog lot set up with all the dogs in their dog houses, and then there's a couple of fairly young ladies with their dog sleds, and you'd pay your money, you go up there, and they would put you in the seat of the dog sled and cover you all up with blankets, and they'd be behind, and they would take you on this nice dog sled ride. It was a blast. It was great. And they would even stop, and you'd switch places. And I got to be the pilot, you know, the musher, as they call it, the musher. It was great. But the neatest thing, I was talking to my musher as I was sitting there, asking her, she's obviously, they're not natives, they're obviously Caucasian, or whatever. And I said, how, do you live here? She said, oh yeah, I'm from Florida, but I've lived here for a couple of years now. Really? How'd you get it? Well, the story is that that dog sled ride was a group that was like Doctors Without Borders, but they were opticians, they were eye doctors. And they started a nonprofit there in northern Alaska, in the Nome area, because we were in Nome, but most of the population lives in all these villages that are scattered all around. No road access, you get boats or airplanes or dog sleds or whatever, and these villages all around don't have doctors, and especially don't have eye doctors. And this organization found a great need to go out and service these villages and give eye care. And they would go out and they would take a mobile clinic and they would give eye exams, and if they needed to, they would make glasses, and give it. It was all for free. And I was just blessed. And the money that they raised from the dog sleds that we all went on went to their organization. I was just amazed. I came home and Googled it, of course, and looked them up on the internet. It's a true thing. It's a real neat thing that they're doing. So anyway, that was the dog sled part. Anything? Yeah. Any other questions?
If you're talking about dog sled teams, yes, I think there were, was it 29? 29, because it started out as 24. Yeah, there was 29, and just for reference, that's been going down every year, unfortunately. Iditarod, they're trying to do their best to keep the race alive. It holds a lot of their culture, and they try to preserve the historic Iditarod Trail. But unfortunately, it costs a lot of money. And it's very difficult. It's a very difficult race that they have to qualify for. And they struggle a lot with some groups coming in to disrupt them as well. So we do our best to take care of the 29, and we hope that it continues to grow in the future. The weather doesn't have anything to do with that. They are incredible athletes, and they actually suffered a pretty big storm. They all got caught behind, I think it was the White Mountain checkpoint. So they've been through all kinds of winter storms, snowstorms, ice storms, buried under snow. They're incredibly tough and resilient and learn how to get through it. But it takes so much to get to the race. It's thousands and thousands of dollars. And just for reference, I think the winner this year got around $100,000, and he said that pretty much covered my dog food for the year. So it's incredibly expensive to keep it up.
And if you wonder about the dogs love it. These dogs, they love pulling the sled. They didn't want to stop, did they? They're bred for it. They have these dog houses that are just plywood, but most of the dogs out there laying in the snow. They're not being mistreated or anything at all. They're very well treated. The dogs are athletes, and they love it.
We did get an opportunity to speak with several of the mushers, which I think, from Elijah's perspective, he was telling me it was great the previous years to be able to see the ceremonial start and everything, and doing the beginning of the race, but you had a lot more one-on-one interactions where they're not just all hyped up on adrenaline, getting ready to to start this big race where they're not thinking about anything else but this race in front of them. Now that they've finished and they're at the finish line, there's a lot more opportunities for you to talk with them after they're coming down off that high and be able to ask them more about it, and they give you a little more time and a little more attention, and I think their hearts are a little more opened up at the end of a race when they've finished something, and it was pretty cool to see that. But we got to talk to one of the Ryan Reddington. His grandfather was one of the ones that started the Iditarod, and I think the trophy is named after his grandfather. He was the first one in the Reddington family to win the race, and I think it was 3 years ago or something like that. And she knows everything about every musher there. She knows what brand of dog food they feed him and everything. It was crazy. She's coming in and like, oh yeah, he did this and then this. But anyway, it was cool to be able to get to hear their perspective on it. They said the dog's optimal temperature is -10 degrees. So, if you're thinking about the weather, it was just visibility that held up the race more than the cold or anything like that. Because the dogs, like they said, they love it. And you get to the finish line and they just completed this thing and they're just like, they don't want to stop. They're anchored down on the ground and wagging their tails and ready to keep going. But it's pretty cool to see it.
All right, now it's working. All right, so one more question for the team, and then we'll have to wrap some things up. I'm going to call Pastor Joey to come up and share with y'all, and then I'll come in and give you all next steps for how you can continue to get involved in missions. So one more question.
I think there's another one right behind you as well. The interior of the hat is sheared beaver, and on the outside, I thought it was wolf, and someone said that's what it was before, but it's tanuki, which is the Japanese raccoon dog. Not dog, but some type of raccoon thing. It's like a weasel-looking thing, I don't know. It's warm, I can tell you that. And there was one more.
Yes, my question is in respect to what Sarah said. She said groups are coming in and interrupting what you all were helping them accomplish. What do you mean by other groups are coming in and interrupting the Iditarod? What does that mean?
Sorry, I was being a little bit vague. Like some organizations that are just have misconceptions about the dogs and the mushers and the treatment of them. And yes, it's PETA. I think maybe some people have good intentions, but they need to be educated about the dogs themselves. These dogs are actually their healthiest when they're running and out in the cold, and this is the perfect environment for them. They're fed better than us humans are fed. They have meat, like prime meat, every day. So I think they think they're trying to do a good deed and have kind of gotten swept up in that and have missed the education portion of the dogs truly loving it and this being their environment. And this is a history that's been there for hundreds of years. Dogs and humans have worked together and relied on one another for so long, and they have incredible bonds. So it's just unfortunate that there are some people that have misunderstandings about that.
Yeah, the Iditarod actually has to be fairly strict to keep PETA from interfering, because like when we worked the dog lot, they told us no pictures. Like you can't take pictures, you can't post them, because PETA will find those, they'll take them and they'll distort them, they'll alter them and make it look like the dogs are being abused when they are not.
All right, real quick, y'all. Thank y'all again, team, for sharing. I just kind of wanted, It's obvious y'all put in the hard work and also the sweat work, all the things to make sure before, during, and now after to make sure that people know about Jesus there in Nome and beyond. But also, too, the reason why they're sharing this is for your benefit and for our benefit, because I would say, and Eileen was hit it too, like I had an expectation. This is what I was going to go do. And for some of us, y'all hear that and you go, I'm not doing, you're scared to death when it comes to talking to people about anything that might be controversial or hard, like the gospel. So I was asked to just share with something that you probably heard me say before. I put it in a video, a newsletter, but I shared it with our staff. But something that just really struck me and has kind of changed the way I pray in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Very familiar with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, right? So the thought is that the Lord's Prayer is really split up into 3 different sections. The address, right? Like any other, Paul and Paul, Then there's the petition and there's a closing. And then the question comes up with hallowed be thy name. Is that part of the address that God is holy? Because that's what hallowed means. Or is it part of the petition that God, I want you to be hallowed? And so that, of course, like a lot of questions we have like this is like, the answer is yes. He is, but we are saying, God, it's a way to worship. You are holy, but we're also saying and praying, God, I want you to be hallowed. I want your name to be hallowed in my life, in and through me, but also in everything that I see and touch. And the problem is our expectations. And it doesn't just, you don't have to go up to Alaska. It's going to be when you get up to go to work or wherever you're going tomorrow, is we all have expectations. And I believe our number one expectation and our heart cry, our heartburn, we're going to drive that one like we stole it. The thing about expectations and God's name being hallowed is that you're praying that, God, you be hallowed in and through my life, around me. I want to see you honored. I want to see you upheld, whether it's on a trip to Alaska or whether I'm taking food to someone here in Rabun County, not just delivering food so we can feed them. I want to share Jesus with them. Well, Lord, I want you to be hallowed. And I believe Sarah's like, hey, there's been damage that's been done by people who are just coming in from the top of the tightrope to pile drive Jesus on people, and it's not effective. But when you're praying, God, I want you to be hallowed in and through me, Lord. You're saying, Lord, I'm listening to you. I'm receiving you. I'm receiving everything you want me to receive. I want you to be holy in my life. I want to be pure and holy and walk holy with you. But I also want to see somebody hold you in high regard too. And later on, it's kind of the same thing when you pray later on. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as is in heaven. That one day Jesus is coming back. That dude's chart, I mean, it's, there ain't going to be no charts because Jesus is going to be here. But we want to take as many people with us as we can. And I think he's given us the answer. We don't have to make it so complicated. God, be hallowed in my life today. Be hallowed in who I come into contact with. Lord, let me hold on to my expectations loosely, because I don't know who I'm going to sit down with. I don't know who I'm going to come in contact with. I may have multiple opportunities to share Jesus with somebody. God may take these boxes and reach somebody with the gospel with it. As I'm doing this, God, I want you to be hallowed. And I'm praying over it. I'm praying through it. No matter what I touch, God, you be hallowed. Okay? Hope that helps. Will's going to close it out for us. And again, thank you, team.
Yeah. Thank you, Joey. That was exactly what I wanted him to say. I knew he would cover that well. I want to give you some next steps on how you can walk forward and bring God's glory and make it hallowed wherever you're going. And I just want to remind you a couple things. Miss Barbara gave us a great opportunity by packing a shoebox within the next 2 weeks and sending a picture of it, not the box, the picture of the box, to Susan Buchanan to encourage her and get a head start on Operation Christmas Child and start buying for the gifts and the items that will go in the box. You can volunteer to serve, connect with Dave McGraw. Dave, do you have a sign-up sheet, or do you just want to come talk to you? He doesn't bite, okay? I can vouch for that. go talk to Dave and get involved in what's going on with the hymn team. And Randy Sorrow as well. He actually has a sign-up sheet and a handout in multiple ways. He doesn't bite much, but you can talk to him as well. And show up for the hymn team, for Dave's ministry, Thursdays, 8:30 a.m., and he will put you to work in amazing ways. And I just want to remind y'all, thank you for giving faithfully to your church. Your tithe money pays for all these ministries already. You are supporting the work of ministry, and that Jesus' name, the name of God, is hallowed here in Raymond County and across the world with your faithful giving and support. So thank you. Also, thank you to the Missions Committee and Randy Adams and Josh Messer, who worked so hard to pull all this off in short notice. And but thank y'all so much. And Kyle Briner and the amazing Briner family, thank y'all so much for how you serve. You serve in ways that people don't know about. And God's going to get glory for that. So thank y'all so much. And I second the thanks to WMU. Thank you for how the WMU serves so well and faithfully. All right. I'm going to pray, and as we're dismissed, we're going to worship. We changed up the order of worship just a little bit. But please stick around, talk to these ministry leaders, find out more about opportunities to go on another trip. We're gauging interest in that, and glorify God as you're doing it. Father, thank you for your grace, that you sent your Son for us, to become sin for us on the cross, and to die in our place, that we would become the righteousness of God in him. And more than that, Jesus, you gave us a great commission to go and make disciples of all the nations. And Lord, thank you that we get to participate in your kingdom work as we faithfully follow you, as we just take the opportunity, take the shot, make the difficult conversation, and embrace the weirdness. So, Lord, would you send your Spirit to empower us, to use us for your glory in your kingdom? However it is, wherever we are, whether it's taking boxes of food or serving a person that's fallen into the ditch, or going around the world to other nations, Lord, just use us and let us be made available. Father, would your name be proclaimed and glorified because we have been made available for it. We love you, and we pray all this in Jesus' name. To your name be the glory. Amen. To serve with MFuge this summer on May 23rd. I had it in my notes, I forgot. This is why. But we're going to support Trent in prayer. He's getting paid for what he's doing at MFuge, and he's going to love it anyways. But support Trent in your faithful prayer, and just check on him. Let him know we love him and miss him. All right, thank y'all.
He is jealous for me. Love's like a hurricane. I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. When all of a sudden I am unaware of these afflictions eclipsed by glory, and I realize just how beautiful you are and how great your affections are for me. Oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us so. He loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. Yeah, he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. We are his portion, and he is our prize. Drawn to redemption by the grace in his eyes. If grace was an ocean, we're all sinking. So heaven meets earth like an unforeseen kiss, and my heart turns violently inside of my chest. I don't have time to maintain these regrets when I think about